Wesley, it is our third week now. We've been here for 3 weeks in Las Vegas.
Yep, day 22.
Yeah, I want to first off start off by apologizing that it's been slow in uploading the past week and a half or so. It's kind of hard actually to get everybody together on the same time with all these tournaments out here.
It is, but at the very least, I think this is our fourth one out here, so we've still averaged one a week. We just kind of did two right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's been a little while.
I've had the opportunity to speak with a lot of people, a lot of really cool, bigger name pros out here that I played with, and they've been interested in hopping on the podcast. So once we get back from Vegas, maybe we'll get some more interviews lined up.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. So, yeah. Where did we leave off? Was it after the Mystery Millions?
No, so the last one we did was it was after the Mystery Millions, but it was the weekend of the Gladiator.
That's right. That's right.
I blasted
your baby.
a couple. Well, that tournament's dead. What a stupid tournament that is.
I think you're up infinite in life on that tournament, though.
Yeah, I'm still up 208,000 from that tournament. So
that's pretty sick. I do remember I fired a couple into that on Thursday, and then my wife came in Friday through Sunday. So I took the rest of that weekend off. Went and saw the show Awakening at the Wynn. That was incredible, dude. So you walk into the auditorium or the stage room, and it's a circle, right? So it's like first off, I'm like, the seat's gonna be good. Who knows? Like, is the sound gonna be good? But anyways, you walk in and it's really intimate. Like, it's a circular stage. Seats go around it. You're very close no matter where you're sitting. And then the floor, you don't even know this, but all of a sudden, like, the floor is on hydraulics going up and down, and there's people doing acrobatics throughout the whole thing. It was pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's awesome.
Took that weekend off with my wife. That was rejuvenating. Then came back and grinded throughout the week up until the Monster Stack.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. So that weekend, I actually played a lot online that weekend, and it went quite well. I'd say overall in this trip, online has been fine.
Yeah, you got second in the Blitz twice. You won
back-to-back days. Yeah, I won a couple small ones. And then I busted a lot of stuff too this week, and it's
been a pretty dusty past week for me. All the way through the Monster Stack, I ended up busting 3 bullets. We'll actually get into that, but so far, statistics-wise, I have 4 caches, 2 WSOP events, and 2 Aria birds.
Yep. Yeah, and then
what about you?
Yeah, so this last week I busted the 1500 freeze. I busted the 800 twice. Then I hopped in the 400 daily at the WSOP, which I got 6th place in for like 2,800.
Yeah, it's nice. Gets you a little momentum going.
Yeah, and then I fired the Monster Stack twice. I did get into the money. Didn't make it too far into past the bubble. I outlasted 350 people. But I still just got the min cash. So
I think most of our conversation today will be hands from the monster. Does that seem right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I had a bunch of interesting spots in the Monster Stack, and before we get into them, quick shout out to our roommate Steve, who just busted today. He finished 35th place.
Yeah, day 4, 35th place out of 8,700-ish.
Yep.
So, that's incredible.
Top 0.5%.
First, like 37K or something.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. I know, it had been a slow start for him, and then it only takes 1, though. So, boom.
Yeah. Yeah, very good run for him.
Congrats to you, brother. And then also shout out to our buddy Ben, who's just, he hasn't cleaned anything up yet, but he's been making run after run. So,
yeah, he really has. He's like final tabled a couple online ring events. He got, was it 30-something in the $800?
Yeah, you got 30th out of
4,700.
4,700 in the $800 one.
Yep.
WSOP event.
Yeah, so some very good runs for him. And we're only like halfway through, which is crazy.
For me, it's more past that. So my plan here, before we get into some hands, my plan is to play the Millionaire Maker this weekend. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to play the Poker News event.
Yeah, 600.
600 next week, which has an amazing structure.
It does.
So looking forward to playing that. And then I'm going to head home until the main.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's my plan here. Being out here for this long is weird. It feels like I've been here forever, and it feels like I've been here for a very short time all at the same time.
It's gone fast, but also it it feels like there's a moment where it's like, oh, I do have another home to go home to.
Yeah, yeah. So I do look forward to having that break after next week, hopefully with a pile of money from the Millie Maker.
Yep.
So go home, hang out with my wife, enjoy the 4th with her and my family, get a little rejuvenated, and come back and just slap people around in the main event.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, I'll be out here, play those events, play the Colossus, play a couple other. There are quite a few good tournaments. I mean, it's the World Series. There's literally good tournaments every day. So most days I will be playing. But should we hop into some of these hands?
Yeah, let's do it. So let's start off with day 1A of the Monster Stack.
Okay.
What you want to go ahead? Do you have anything from that day?
Day 1A was stupid. I won 4 pots. One of them was a walk.
Oh,
I got nothing.
That was it, the whole day.
Day 1B, I had a few interesting hands, and then day 2, I had some though.
Okay, so we'll start off with mine then.
Yeah, you had a cool one.
On day 1A, I had a kind of. It was a tougher first table for the Monster Stack. I realized day 1A might be probably the toughest of the starting fields, I would assume.
I don't know
either. But Saturday, from my experience from playing all 3 flights, that was the case. I had Philippe, I think it's just Philippe Ramos. He's a GG poker pro. He's like probably the most famous, I believe, Brazilian poker player. He's just super famous.
Okay.
GG pro. Anyways, super kind dude. Had a lot of fun playing with him. Played with Andy. He's a Minnesota grinder as well. I don't know Andy's last name, but anyways, so getting to the hand here. This is early on in the Monster Stack. I want to give a full disclaimer to this hand is that...
Don't try it at home.
Yeah, don't try it at home. I took it to the streets, as Nick Schulman would say in this one. Nothing too crazy, but you'll see in a second here. But anyways, we're both hundreds, over 100 bigs deep to start the hand. I have... let's see if I can remember this without slaughtering it now. It's been a while. I had Jack 9 off in the cutoff, and I open... what were the blind levels at this point? Do you remember?
2-4.
2-4, yeah. So I open it to 800. Philippe in the big blind defends. We get to the King 5 flop.
10-10-5.
10-10-5 flop. The 10-10-5 flop. I'm glad I told you this and you remember.
Me too.
Yeah. It was 10-10-5. You're right. So he checks. I bet one big blind, which was 400, and he raises to 1,600.
Yeah.
So at this point,
you might think the hand's just over.
You just might think the hand is over, but I don't know. Something about me was like, I'm gonna win this pot, and I know that he doesn't have a 10 here. So I think he's just clicking. He's just a very confident player. Obviously, this isn't disclaimer, but we land on the float. The turn comes a king. So now I have a gutter. So he checks. I bet 2,500.
Yeah. So at this point, you're trying to fold out some stuff. Maybe put pressure on 5s or small pocket pairs.
I want to put pressures on 5s, 6s, 7s, and then I'm assuming you would 3-bet 8s or higher probably.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not, though.
Yeah.
From later position, potentially. But anyways, just trying to apply pressure to those hands. I have no showdown value, but I now have a little bit of that backdoor equity. Mm-hmm. So he lands on call.
All right, so pot right now is like a little over 10K.
Yeah, and I don't remember the river. I want to say it was like a 4 or something. It was just a banana. And he leads. So there's 10K in the pot, and he bets 800.
Yeah, so just tiny.
So my first thought was, like, he never has a 10 here.
Yep.
He just never has a 10 here. And I'm thinking he has a 5, and he's block betting. Like, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yep.
So after a few seconds of deliberation, I make it 5K, just one red chip.
Yeah. And so my initial thought was that you're going to make it a lot bigger because you need to rep a 10, kind of.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool because it looks very value-y.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. And we've talked about, how like when people are bluffing, they usually throw out a lot of smaller chips.
Yep.
I just did the one chip raise, just raise to 5K. He quickly folds and tells me he folded King 5.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that he had the king. So he flopped a 5, but he turned a king. Obviously, it wasn't the pair of tens made it so he just had kings and tens with no kicker.
I don't love how he played it. I would have probably bet turn with his hand, maybe.
I was going to say after check calling turn, he should just check call river.
Yeah.
Like,
instead of lead river.
It would have worked. He would have just
won the
picked
pot.
it off.
Yeah.
But the lead,
catch.
I think he overestimated. There were two things. Maybe he thought like, well, he's going to check back pocket pairs now, so I'm going to get a tiny bit more value from it. Mm-hmm. But I also think he thought that by betting that small amount, he would get perfect information from you. Like he would freeze your bluffs and make it.
Yeah.
So
no, but he induced it instead.
Yeah, he did. And I think, here he kind of, you almost use that bet as leverage to make your river bluff look stronger.
And so one thing I want to say is like, this isn't something I typically do often, but when I have like a conviction set, where I'm like, I can win this hand, and I know like if I play I don't know, I had that conviction in the moment, so I went with it. Yeah. This is something that we shouldn't do often. We shouldn't just be floating with jack high on these boards and stuff like that. It should just be a fold.
And I would say
I'd lose money in the long run by making this play frequently.
I would say that the turn and river I like, and the flop I would just like if you had a backdoor flush draw even, I think it's because like your jack and nine are likely live and you're in position, you do have backdoor straight outs. Like it's not obviously he could have a 10.
Right.
And that would be the disaster. But I guess the real question is does he play a 10 this way to try and induce you? And I think if he played with you a lot, the answer would be yes. But in this specific situation, it felt like he was trying to just play too perfectly.
Yeah. So anyways, I won that hand. It was just a small pot, nothing crazy. But I just wanted to I thought it was funny because I got out of line a little bit there.
Yeah.
Something I don't typically do, but it felt right in the moment, so I went with it. Anyways, I ended up busting that flat. I think I got moved tables and then ended up running, I believe it was jacks into kings, if I can remember correctly, to bust that one.
Yeah. We busted around the same time there.
Day 2 is probably the most interesting table I've had all summer.
Yeah, or day 1B, just to clarify.
Excuse me, day 1B, yeah. Sorry, my second flight. I'll get into that, but what do you got?
Yeah, so I registered day 1B, level 4, and the second hand I sat down to, I had pocket eights. Blinds are 3, 5, 5. I make it 1100. The button, who is, I just sat down, but he seems like a good player. Button and big blind both call.
What position were you?
Low. I think low jack.
Okay.
There was one seat that was open.
With pocket eights, you made it 1100. Button big blind call. Okay.
Button big blind call. Flop is ace, and then 8 of hearts, 5 of hearts. Ace of clubs, 8 of hearts, 5 of hearts.
Okay.
So
you flop
we have
middle
a
set. Yeah. On a relative, this is a good board.
Yeah, it's a good board. There's some draws.
You get, there's hands that should be
ace.
paying you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I decide the pot is 4,100. I decide to make it 23, which I think is, it's not a small C bet.
It was 8-4 ace, 2 hearts.
8-5
8-5 ace, 2 hearts. That's what I meant. Yep.
And it's part of there's some argument to try and check raise, although with only one player behind me, I kind of like just starting to bet now. Also, my opponents know nothing about me so far, so they might just think I'm someone who's going to c-bet every board, even if it's 3 ways, and so I like the c-bet.
I like the c-bet here as well.
And if anything, I wish I went slightly larger.
Okay.
28 or 3K.
To try and build a bigger pot by the end of the hand?
Yeah, just try and get more value now. And
I think it's okay when there's 3 players, too, because you're more likely to get action.
Yeah. And so the button actually, I couldn't believe it. He's counting out more chips. He makes it 6,500. And the big blind folds. And so at this point, I'm like, wow, did I just sit right down into a double up here?
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's safe to say that he does not have pocket aces and you currently have the nuts.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so
this deep, it would be a huge mistake.
So
to
what are we
flat
thinking he has here? You could have like ace 8 suited, ace 5 suited. You could have like 6 7 suited for a straight draw. Or he could have hearts, or he could have pocket fives for a worse set as well.
Yeah,
So those are kind of the
there's one combo of ace 8 suited, 2 combos of ace 5 suited, 3 combos of pocket fives. That is,
and then a ton of combos of flush draws,
and straight
then 8
draws.
combos of open-ended straight draws. Is that right?
4 if he's playing the suited ones, right?
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Maybe some 9-7 suited as well for the gutter, and maybe he flats ace jack, and now he's raising the flop to, on this sort of board he doesn't want to take it 3 ways to the turn, and so he's trying to fold, clear up the equity from the big blind or something.
Yep. Okay, so what are you thinking here? I mean, do you ever? I mean, I know it's so nutted,
so strong.
It's so nutted to raise. Yeah, to 3-bet this, but like,
yeah.
But for him to raise here is so strong. There should just never be. I mean, if it's a semi bluff, it's usually a high equity semi bluff.
Yeah, and so I think I could have 3-bet, and I could just make it like.
So what were the sizes? You made it 20?
23, he made it 65. And so just so everyone knows, I started with 50K starting stack. He covered me. So
I would love to see you make it like 16.5.
And then just rip turn.
Yeah.
Like looking back, that is an option. So what I ended up doing is flatting.
Okay.
Pot was 17.1. And my thought is like, if he's going to bet like 13K on the turn, I can check jam.
Yeah,
pretty easily there.
I think that's. I mean, I don't hate this either because there's still a lot of opportunity for us to get all our chips in. By the time, I mean, because how much is in the pot after you call the flop? It's
17-1.
Yeah, 17-1. Okay, so continue.
Yeah, so turn is the 6 of diamonds, so the flush does not come in.
But a gutter comes in, right?
Yeah, if he has 9-7 suited, it comes in. Obviously, I'm never like. That's not a huge concern, and I'm happy to get it all in now. So I check, and he goes with a sort of a weird sizing of 8,500. And this is a little awkward, and I remember I texted our group about this because with this sizing, a jam is so huge. If I go all in now for like, I have 42,000 or something, that's so huge.
You know why I kind of like going all in here, though, at the same time? Is because it looks just like you have a massive draw, like a straight and a flush draw.
It could, he could certainly interpret it that way. He could interpret it as, I have ace king and I don't know what to do.
That as well, yeah.
Which obviously, if he has ace jack, he's still going to fold.
But I mean, I don't think. I feel like almost all your options are okay, like call, besides fold, obviously.
Yeah.
But call, I think, because also, I mean, he doesn't have many bluffs at this point.
I don't know. Like, I would say the half pot bet on the turn, to me, it was surprising because it felt like he actually wasn't trying to get stacks in. Which means like maybe he doesn't have bottom set, but also it didn't feel as bluffy. I don't know.
I feel like pocket fives would size this turn up.
Yeah, and so I'm like, did he just flat ace queen? Like, is this ace queen?
Just one pair, and I mean, he would fold that if you jammed, probably.
I think he would fold the one pair, and if he had a set or 2 pair, he would call.
Yeah.
And then the other option being, I could check raise to like 18K. It's like I could min raise, but still that would still mean putting in almost half of my stack. And it just, I don't know. So I actually, I still don't have a perfect answer to this. I ended up just flatting. And my reasoning behind this was I thought that this might be the best way to get it all, or not all, but, he could bluff a flush draw on the river. If the river's a blank, he's still going to go for value. Like anything that I would have stacked on the turn. Granted, there are a lot of bad rivers, but there's still plenty of rivers where I'm going to get basically all the chips, if not all of them, from him.
Yeah.
And then stuff like ace queen, ace jack, I feel like he's folding to a raise now. So
It sucks though as well because, I mean, if he has sets in two pairs, there's a lot of river cards that will kill action.
there are. And that, yeah. So anyway, so we end up calling and the pot is, so it's 34K,
Yeah,
34.
and you have less than that.
So I have like about pot.
Yeah, you're right close to it, right? Okay.
The river is the 7 of diamonds. So the board is ace, 8, 5, 2 hearts, then 6, 7. So no flush gets there, but it is 4 to a straight, which kind
like
of
4,
sucks.
like connect. It's 4, 5, 6, or
Yeah.
it's 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, and so I don't see how he ever has a 4 in his hand.
Right.
He could have some 9x of hearts that was a bluff.
Man, it's the World Series of Poker. He could have anything.
Yeah,
You'll see why I'm saying that later. But anyways,
yeah. So I check, and he bets, again, a weird sizing of 15.5K.
okay.
And I had already decided, I'm like, well, the flush, there are still some bluffs. I don't think it's that.
I don't think you should be jamming in this river. Yeah.
I just very quickly,
yeah.
I just
call.
sort of rolled my eyes and flicked in a call.
All right. If you had me beat, you had me beat.
Yeah, and he had ace 5 of diamonds. So
Yeah.
if he flopped 2 pair. And I think, so it kind of made me think, obviously the result was like, if I knew what he had previously, I would have just tried to get it in on the flop or turn.
Right. Right.
As played,
Hindsight's
I think
20/20,
I'm
but-
really lucky that he bet the river. Like, I think I lucked out to get that last
He's
15K.
trying to get. Yeah. He tried to get real thin.
Yeah, you know how people will, the classic, like, oh, I put you on ace king kind of thing?
Yeah.
It really felt like he put me on ace king, but in sort of a different scenario. than
Yeah.
most
Or
people.
ace queen.
Yeah. But if I had ace king or ace queen, how do I ever call there? I don't know. Because my call on the river, I was like, well, I don't think he has a 4. It doesn't feel like he's bluffing, but it's possible. But the other thing was, I did think it was possible he'd bet a set of 5s on the river. And yeah, I will also say I took a very long time on the turn.
Okay.
And so he might have interpreted that as like,
This guy's. Yeah.
I might be thinking of folding.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, so I won a big pot right off the bat.
You know, you lost a little value, but you still got a lot of chips. You still got a lot of value with the hand as played. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's terrible.
I don't think so. And there are some rivers where I just check jam and I probably get the full double.
Yeah. I mean, the run out is what probably killed it the most for you not getting the full double up, because you could still get it on other run outs that aren't that dangerous, to
Yeah.
both your hands. So
that's an interesting one. And I would be open to people in the Discord chat giving some feedback.
Yeah.
'Cause that is a weird
make sure to
spot.
go to our Discord episode feedback tab, hop in there, and let us know what you think about that hand. We'll be looking forward to that. So I have a fun one from the second day of the Monster Stack.
All right, let's hear it.
So first off, just to kind of give you a little bit of information, my table is all Rex except for maybe one. The play heavily reflects that. It's just the weirdest shit's happening. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I've not seen this many weird things happen. Here's one of them. I'll give you an example for one of them, one hand we played, where I have this guy to my right. He's clearly an amateur. He just flew in. He told me that.
Okay.
But he's kind of reckless. Like, he gives me a reckless vibe. I've never in my life had a live tell as of a slam dunk live tell as I had on this guy.
All right.
And he made it super easy. So the hand starts off, it's at 300, 500, 500 in the monster stack. He's cut off. He makes it 1,200 at 500 big blind. Mm-hmm. He's got about 30K behind. I have, I think, 65K at this point.
Okay.
So we're pretty deep still. Again, he opens cut off to 1,200 at 500. I noticed something when he opens. So he's been very consistent with just like looking at his cards. And when he showed down like a few big hands, and I paid attention to him pre-flop where he just puts his thing on his card right away and doesn't do anything with his cards. Well, in this time, I was watching him because he's right before me to act to my direct right. He grabs his cards, looks like he's gonna muck them. He like literally grabs them by the two edges like he's gonna give the flick. And then he puts his hand back on top of his hands and he ruffles the cards.
Huh.
Yeah, and I just was like, this guy has absolutely nothing right now.
He had like a hand that he probably knew he should fold, but was like, it's close enough.
Okay.
Okay, maybe not.
So, I mean, I go with my gut here. I have ace-6 off on the button.
Okay.
I 3-bet.
All right. Yeah, so clearly not a hand you're usually 3-betting.
No, I'm not typically 3-betting this, but I'm confident, number one, I have the best hand here, but also, like, I position this guy, like, I'm just going to win a pot against this guy. It seems like a slam dunk spot. I 3-bet to 3,500 from 1,200. So not quite, just under 3x.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the sizing?
It's good.
Yeah, standard. Pot is 8,300 now. The flop, it's very similar to that hand with the Philippe. It's 10-10-4 rainbow.
Okay.
He checks. What are we betting here?
Oh, I remember this one. I'm usually just betting like 1,800 or maybe 21.
Okay.
Like fifth or quarter pot.
I bet 2,000.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. He calls. At this point, I'm like, did this guy land on a 10 somehow? Like,
Yeah.
I was a little bit concerned, but I was like, nah, I don't think so. Like, I mean, it's still possible, right? It caught my attention when he calls here, obviously. The pot is 12,300. The turn is the 7 of hearts. I have ace-6-0, so I have just purely ace high. I think that there's a lot of logic telling me to just check here because I should. He might just be floating with like king 10 or something, king jack, maybe king queen.
Well, king 10 is trips.
Sorry, not king 10, king jack.
But also
king
you would want to check against it for
yeah,
sure.
but right, I just have showdown value against that hand.
But also you those sorts of hands, he's probably not going to think about folding pre-flop.
Right, and I still was like, I didn't think I was going to win the pot by checking.
Okay. Well, here's the question I have too, though.
Okay.
What do you think he calls? Do you think he calls the flop with like just 7-4? Sorry, not a 4, but like 6-3 suited. Maybe some trash hand that he knows he should have folded, but
Probably not.
okay.
Probably not, honestly. I think he can still have ace highs.
Do you think you're behind? I guess is what
Potentially, some ace highs. But, I didn't at first when I pre-flop, remember?
Yeah.
After he called the flop, I was a little concerned, but I still didn't feel like he had like a nutted type hand.
Yeah. So you think he flopped a 4 essentially?
Yeah, a 4 or just flat floated with ace high.
But based on your pre-flop read, it probably wouldn't be ace high.
That is correct.
All right. So he probably flopped a 4 is kind of what you're leaning towards.
That's where I'm leaning at. I mean, you could just have like ace 4-0, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Seems like, I mean, he could have done that with his hand, like being questionable. Should I throw this away or should I open it, right? Mm-hmm. So something like that. The turn is a 7 of hearts. He checks.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would check or bet really big here.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Because if he talked himself into opening some trashy hand and then he flops a 4, like if he's the type of player who's going to just kind of YOLO it and open some offsuit 4 hand, I don't think he's going to just fold to flop and turn here.
So the turn is the 7 of hearts. So it's 10-10-4-7. There's 12,300 in the pot. You said you'd go large or check. This is where I slightly made a mistake in my sizing. I went larger, but I didn't go large enough, I think. I went 7,500.
I mean, I think that's
like
reasonable.
60%-ish.
Yeah, that's reasonable with his stat. Yeah, I was thinking maybe like 9K.
Yeah.
But
okay. I remember, and I'm kind of setting it up for a pot, like a river jam, potentially, depending on what the river is, right? Well, the pot is 27,300 in it, and the river is the 2 of clubs.
He calls.
He calls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he calls. The pot's 27,300. The river is a 2 of clubs. So I just have ace high.
Yeah.
He checks. And at this point, after he called this 7,500, I'm like, this dude walked his way into a 10 somehow. Like, he just has like 9-10-0 or something like that, right? Something dumb like that.
Yeah.
I genuinely got scared, and I was like, I'm not going to triple barrel on this river.
Mm-hmm.
If hands I would probably triple barrel are like, if any sort of Broadway card.
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think any sort of Broadway card is something I'd triple on here. I check back, and we get to showdown. And I was like, you got a 10, really? And he's like, sheepishly, he's like, no. And I'm like, oh, wait, do I have the best hand somehow? And then he peels over the 4 deuce offsuit.
You told me that, and his comment was what made it the best.
And then he says to me afterwards, I'm just trying to balance.
Oh God.
So, I'll tell you what, though. while I did lose that pot, I was happy with my read pre-flop. I mean, it was clear as day that he wanted to just fold the hand, and then he decided to open the deuce 4-0.
Yeah.
So we gave up there, but I'm curious if if I jammed river, if it just works. I'm concerned about bluffing opponents like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I should have maybe been considering of that on the turn.
That's sort of what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, you're okay. You know, if he's going to call pre-flop if he's going to raise and call a 3-bet pre-flop with that hand, he's also going to do so with a bunch of other garbage. And when you size that small on the flop, he's going to float with a bunch of trash. So I think you can be ahead on the flop.
I could have guessed 90% of the hands, and none of them would have had 4 deuce off in it.
Yes. Yeah, that's the last thing you even when you know he's kind of weak, that's the last thing you expect.
I just couldn't believe it. So anyways.
You're thinking like 9-4 suited or something.
I felt like I needed like an oxygen mask after that. I was like, wait, okay, I just need to just be absolutely patient and just go for value with my big hands.
Yep.
And then, anyways, I ended up getting coolered on with so old lady limps. I raised with ace queen suited on the button. She flats. We get the 6-4 deuce 1 diamond. She leads half. I call. I float. We get the queen of hearts on the turn. She checks. I bet she raises, and I'm just like, oh my god! Like, and now I have top as well against this specific opponent. Again, this is something I think where I potentially made a mistake. Like, I can just exploit fold here sometimes. I think against opponents like this because I don't.
You already beat no value.
I mean, yeah, unless she somehow just has. I mean, but here's the thing: is like I feel like she could just be like donk leading with like queen jack, queen 10, queen king.
But she check raised turn, right?
And then I'm saying on the flop.
Yeah.
And then on the turn, she check raises. So I'm just saying I could maybe potentially sometimes be ahead of a queen. I think that's possible, truly.
Okay.
However, so I ended up calling the raise. And then she on the river, we got the showdown. She bet the river. I called river. And she had queen 6-0. So yeah. So she turned 2 pair.
Yeah, it feels pretty nutted. That bet flop, that lead is not usually that strong.
The blunder in that hand, I mean, I don't even know if it's a blunder. Do we fold ace queen after we? The reason I floated flop is first off because I also had the backdoor diamonds as well as the 2 overs.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember what the bet sizing was? That's got to be fine.
Yeah,
like, unless it's a massive.
No, it wasn't massive.
Yeah,
this is over a week ago now, so.
Right, yeah. No, I think that's...
or about a week ago, but anyways.
Yeah. No, I think that's fine. I think that's actually mandatory to float the flop.
Yeah, and then... But here's the thing is when we get check raised after we turn top, do we just fold?
Yeah, I think... I mean, and think like, what does her...
She just has... I feel like she has a set here all the time.
Yeah, like a set.
I didn't expect queen 6 off. That's for sure.
Queen 6 actually makes kind of the most logical sense, just how I would read this type of player, because the lead...
She limped under the gun, by the way.
Oh, God, okay. Okay, yeah, then a set seems...
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
I was button with ace queen of diamonds.
Yeah, okay, I did not catch that part right away. Yeah, the lead often seems like a one pair. When an amateur leads like that, it's often one pair that wants to get protection. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the check raise on the turn is very strong, so it makes sense. Queen 6 is the hand where both of those things are true, but obviously you just don't expect to see that from an under the gun limper. But
yeah.
Man.
So, honestly, these are just a couple of very unique hands. The hands that I've given during this episode so far, they're not ones I would typically play. So
you've had some doozies, man.
That was a doozy. And then on day 3, I ended up building it up pretty quickly right away. Ran queens into aces against a short stack, which kind of chunked me down a little bit. And then I ended up just chipping down from there and just couldn't get any traction over all 3 flights. And it sucks because as you guys, many of you have heard our past episodes, I was really looking forward to the monster. I love that structure. I've cashed every single time I've played in that event. So I think it's
not anymore.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times, I think. But not a big deal. that's just how poker goes sometimes. So I've been having a lot lighter of a week this week. Played a little bit online. Played the $500 mystery bounty. You made day 2
of the monster.
The monster. What you got a hand from that?
I have several more hands from day 1. I have some day 2 hands, much more than we have time for today.
Yeah. Give me something good.
All right. So, do you want to hear a correct hero call, an incorrect hero call, a correct hero fold?
A correct hero fold.
Okay. Well, that's fun because there's only one of those. There are like 5 hands that were interesting I think on both day 1 and 2, there were 3 hands each. So 6 total hands where I had a tough river decision, and only one of the times I ended up folding. But luckily, it ended up saving my tournament life as I found out a few hours after the fact, because I know the guy a little bit. We have mutual friends, and so he eventually told me what he had. But so this was the second level of day 2, so level 13. Big blind blinds are 2K, 4K, 4K. I have about 140-something thousand. I'm in the big blind. Under the gun 1, very solid player. He covers me. He opens to 8K. Folds to me. I defend Jack 4 of hearts in the big blind. Flop is 7 of hearts, 5 of clubs, deuce of hearts. So just flop the flush draw.
You have Jack 4 of hearts?
Yep.
And a backdoor straight draw then?
Yep.
Okay.
I check, and he bets 18K into 22K.
Oh, that's a big bet.
It is.
You know, I kind of like this.
This is the correct board to bet.
You and me have talked about this in the past, but like, especially under the gun, like, you know that the big blind's range is going to smash this, and why not just put absolute maximum pressure on all 1 pair hands here?
Yeah, it's like it's still the big blind will have a lot of 1 pairs, but there aren't straights yet. The under the gun has all the biggest over pairs, and we don't.
You're going to have a lot of pairs and a lot of draws, so I think just sizing up here is great, regardless if what you have.
Yeah, so this sucked immediately because I was hoping to see the 7K C bet or whatever.
Yeah. Does this give you more incentive to like this?
Definitely less incentive to raise.
Less incentive to raise.
Yep.
Okay.
Against the small sizing, we will want to raise a lot more, but. Yeah, and also it's worth considering. We're not like right on the bubble, but we've got about.
Oh, that's right. You have 100-something thousand.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're probably at a point here where about a quarter of the field is left.
You have sub 30 bigs, is that right?
Started with like 35, 140K.
140K. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. 4K. Okay.
So. Yeah, I just call. So the pot now is 58K. The turn is the jack of spades. So I turn top pair.
You got top pair and a flush draw.
Yeah, so this is nice, but I'm also like, okay,
you could still be behind.
I could be behind, and I'm like, if I am behind, there's a world where I just get stacked here if I don't improve on the river.
Yeah.
I check, and he bets 40K, which again I think is really good.
What? So it's 18 into 21. So 18 twice.
58K.
58. Yeah.
And so he bets 40, which will leave me, when I call, I will have like, I know it was over 80,000 left.
Okay.
I don't remember.
If you made this 40K call, you'd still have 80K?
I think it was closer to 90 even.
Okay.
So
you can still afford to see this river.
Yeah, I actually think I started the hand with closer to 150.
Okay.
So I make the call. I think that's the only play here. I have a good hand, but if I'm check raising, maybe I'm lucky and he calls off with 8s through 10s, or he could have a better flush draw, but also I'm kind of knocking his bluffs out.
I feel like for him to take this sizing on the turn with like a pair under jacks is kind of not good, but
maybe. But I think it's still. Obviously, I could have Jack X of hearts, but it's still very likely the best hand, and I think I think it's good for him to get value with those hands still.
Okay.
So I call pots 138K. I have 85 or 90K left, we'll say.
What's the river?
Queen of diamonds. I check, and he pretty quickly puts out a stack and says all in. At this point,
God, I'm so annoyed.
and I had just made a incorrect hero call less than an hour ago, and I had kind of been beating myself up.
You texted the group and you're like, I got to quit paying off rivers.
Yeah,
Is that from that?
that was that, yeah. And I was like, so here's what I would say too, is there is a world where someone's jamming 10s through 8s here for thin value, but he jammed pretty quickly, so I sort of did not consider that because I'm like, he didn't think too hard. I think he either had a bluff or a clear value jam.
Okay. Yeah, so an easy value jam or something that with no showdown value.
Yeah. And quite honestly,
I think I'm folding.
yeah, I did end up folding. Honestly, I regretted it for a while because in my head, I'm like, whoa, I didn't really consider if he could have 10s or 8s. Like, if I'm beating some thin value, that's just terrible.
What do you have, kings?
No, he told me after he had queen 9 of clubs. So he was just blasting and he 2-outed the river. But yeah. So but the fact that which I felt fine about, like the fact that he was the kind of player who was like he could have had king 9 of clubs, or he's for sure continuing with 10-9 suited.
That's so annoying.
He's
He's just so dead and he just gets bailed out.
Yeah. But like,
what if it comes 10 of clubs on the river? You're just calling off?
I don't know if I am. I mean, it's not that different. I don't think, like, if he has ace queen, I think he's just taking ace queen to showdown.
Right, yeah.
I honestly
so
think,
yeah, there's not much of a difference between the queen and the 10.
Yeah, apparently there was, but
well, right, because his like air got there.
Yeah, and like
Gross.
he could have turned a jack too for sure.
Yeah.
He could have a lot of jack X, not a ton, obviously.
Anyways, that's disgusting.
Yeah, and looking back, I was relieved that I made the correct in the moment fold. It ended up making me $3,000 with the min cash, but I don't actually know that this was a good fold. I think part of it was influenced by the fact that I was like, I need to stop paying these rivers off. Because on day one, I actually had 2 hands where I paid off rivers like that, but then I also had a correct bluff catch. And then later in day 2, I had another correct bluff catch. So it's like, I actually, by paying off rivers, I did make a profit in terms of chips.
Yeah.
So I was right 2 out of the 5 times, which, that you're always getting a price, right?
Note to self, do not bluff for Wes on the river.
I think overall my decisions were good, and
I felt that same way too. I grinded my ass off in that tournament, and I feel like I made a lot of good decisions. I ended up getting into a couple cooler spots that busted me. I ended up losing my last bullets. I jammed pocket 7s for I think it was 12 bigs over an under the gun open. He side calls with 7-8 suited.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then bad beat story incoming. He hits the 8 and we're out. So that was my monster.
Yeah.
And how much did you cash that for?
3,001. They made it so this year in the World Series the min cashes are all at least double.
But then they're a lot more flat as you go throughout, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, what do we have coming up here? What's the plan? What's your plan? I guess I kind of discussed mine already. What's your plan?
Yeah, Millie make the same 2 events as you, but then I'll just keep firing. I know there's another 600.
While I head back to home.
Yeah, there's a 2,500. There's the Colossus. There's a ton of stuff, and I'll just kind of keep playing. Today I think taking it easy. Tomorrow there's a 1,500 super turbo bounty, which I don't think I don't even mind the turbo part of it. I just don't really like bounty tournaments.
Well, right, and as we know, like I know I had a lot of fun with that last year because I ran good in it, but as you get deep, those bounties just become pointless as ICM increases.
Yeah, it's just they're gimmicky. A nice bonus early on.
Yeah,
but like once you get deeper, it's like, man, I wish the prize pool was bigger.
Right, like how it works for me is like if I get my buy-in back in bounties, I'm content, and then I just want to win the tournament, kind of.
Yeah,
because that's early on that is, but.
Yeah.
Also, did we ever give a shout out to Mike Wilklow?
I don't know if we did. He had a solid run. Was it at MGM maybe?
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good run, Mike. Also, thanks for all the input in the Discord. He's been like sending some real long updates and stuff. And
he's been contributing a lot. We're appreciative of that, and he's got a lot of good things to say, a lot of good advice, and just feedback in general.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot more hands from the monster that honestly I think would be good to go over in the future. But
Yeah.
I feel like this is a good spot for us to
kind of wrap up here.
wrap
Yeah.
up.
So I think we'll get another episode in before I head out of town after the Millie this week. We'll get an episode coming to you guys, and then I'm gonna go home refresh, get ready for the main event. Can't wait. I'm excited to go home though. I've been having the time of my life out here with you guys. But home is home, right? So gonna go refresh, get my batteries charged, come back, and just crush the main. But before that, I'm gonna win the Millie Maker.
There we go.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, Wes, you know the drill. We got the Discord. You thought I was going elsewhere with that.
Forgot about the Discord mention.
Yeah, so hop in the Discord, at Deuce Nukem on Twitter. You can find the pinned tweet at the top there. Take a hop in, say what's up to everybody. Remember, there's a little money bag you got to click on. Some of you guys seem to be struggling to get access. A lot of you I've just added manually. But once you're in there, if you follow the instructions, you should get access easily. I know it's confusing for some. So if you're not able to figure it out, you can let me know. Otherwise, I'll see it and just manually add you. I check it pretty regularly. So we'll get you guys in there. Wes, anything you want to end it on?
I don't know. Do you want to do it?
No, I don't. All right, guys, have a great day.
Have a great day. Have a great night, morning, evening, afternoon.
Later.